So I'm hearing about the transition from Milele, which was a learning pot. So Kanji just jacked all those things.
completely. It was all the stuff that I'd
and
learned.
came and brought it here.
Yeah, completely.
Okay. At this point, also, we begin to notice a change in Milele. So what we mean by that, probably you guys now are growing up, that school era is sort of ending. Its guys want to get married. Kaima wants to per se stop dancing and be...
Yeah.
So for us as the audience, we're like, Milele is dead. So for us now with this is the place where we begin to feel Milele dies. Maura disappears.
women, I'm telling you. Women just kill everything.
Kingangi becomes a pastor. Then comes back and all he wants to do is set up houses and Milele gets like, sing! You get? But I hear the genesis. So now explain to us sort of like the, not breakup of Milele, but the growth transition, because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So, we've got all this season of touring and gigging until 2006, 2007. 2007 was very pivotal for us, because what ended up happening is that because of my interaction with Mariners Church, we start getting into a relationship, and this relationship culminates into doing a concert at Mariners in 2007 known as This Is Africa, TIA. But TIA starts with Mavuno. So all this time, we're still interacting with Kina Pastor M and all that, and then Kanji becomes a worship leader at Mavuno. And we decide to do a tour that tells the story of Africa, Milele and Mavuno Worship Project, and so we decided, okay, so they did the first tour, and then they did about 8 states, and then the big concert was at Mariners in 2007. And that was my first gig at Mariners, because I met the outreach pastor then. He told me, could you be able to bring that story here? And what it was almost like a paradigm shift, because at that particular moment, we started talking to Americans about how to rethink missions, how to rethink about how they look at Africans. And they had never seen anything like that. They had never seen Africans who are really geared to actually changing and finding solutions for their own for their continent. So that just brought a deep change, and then the introduction of Pastor M into places like Mariners, and then all of a sudden, what Milele had been doing and had set up for getting into causes now became taken over under Mavuno, and actually morphed into that, because at that time only Kaima and I were there. Maura had moved to Wisconsin, Kanji had moved back home, so we decided just to embed Milele's cause. So in fact, what I say is that for me, I still do Milele just happening. I just do it within the construct of a church, And what I was doing one place with Kenya now became, I get to be playing over 40 countries around the world, just because but the foundation was really there. The foundation was Milele. There's no me going to Mariners if there was no Milele, So Milele launched us into something, at least for me personally, to get into this place where I actually thought, I'd never thought I'd ever work for a church. Because I'm not a church guy. I'd made so many mistakes, I blundered, I failed so many times with Milele. So Mariners was the first place that I actually started now seeing that I can integrate my life. It's not just having this music life or the church life and the fans life, it's integrating it all. So I would say that Milele in itself did not die, because our friendship has never died. Our friendship
and we used to say that. We used to say Milele is essentially a friendship.
It's a friendship,
and that,
all of you guys have been in each other's weddings.
With the exception of this bagger, us guys have been best men for each other.
Exactly right.
Yeah. This guy.
Wedding the same day. We had the wedding the same day as Kanji.
Same week.
Because we flew for
his wedding. And I called my wedding fast.
Yes. But we still went to his wedding.
Ignored my date.
I landed because of Moira. I landed for Kanji's wedding.
On the wedding morning. On the wedding afternoon.
Yeah, at 1 p.m.
I'd never seen Kaima hurt ever. But he got hurt because Maura had wanted to do his wedding. He's like, if you guys don't want to come for my wedding, don't come. Kaima got hurt.
I'll send you pictures.
I'll send you a picture.
What's this boy saying, Bala? He don't come for my wedding.
Yeah, because they got married a week apart.
Yeah.
But the friendship is forever.
6 days
That was
actually.
not gonna-
Because you got married on Saturday.
Exactly
Me, I
right.
got married on Friday.
Yeah. And musically though, 07 also is when we, again, I think the Monday was a culmination of all our musical. It was us, I think we just.
Me and Kema, it's our favorite
It was all
album.
experiment. You made an album.
No,
for
no, even that
yourselves.
album. You're not even in that album.
No,
No, you sang.
No, you sang.
Did you?
I did not do anything on
He
Monday.
did nothing.
I saw man. In fact, I think you're the one who gave me a copy of Monday.
No, you did. Well, she was not home, but I still have the other
No,
one.
I did
Hakuna
nothing
Matata. You did
on
Hakuna
Monday.
Matata.
No,
Hakuna Matata is not on that album.
That's
Is it
not
on Monday.
Hakuna Matata is on Afrique.
It's on Africa.
Oh, it is, huh?
Monday, Kanji gave me a copy. But then I've been
I
kicked
think
out of
Mando
it.
was a solo album. Let's
No.
me and
It was
Kema were
these
forming
guys.
a duet. And we decided let's put
But
our
they
record.
were smoking something.
Hey, that album was so fun, bro.
It was so thinking. It was a.
It's super technical. It's like
Yeah,
I
you
can't
need an album like that in your repertoire.
You must think we're crazy. You must think we're mad. We all want to make it by our strength alone. Only you can make it right. Thanks, do it by my mind. I'll show you my way.
And again, yeah, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. But again, if you listen to it.
I was there in the recording process.
Oh, you have that's
It
what you
was
did.
at Naivasha Road.
I
listened
listened
to
to
the
Sabato.
With Giuliani.
I shared.
When did you guys
My
record
wall
it?
was. I
was
shared
the
a wall
wall.
with the studio.
Yeah, because you did it with Giuliani. Is it Giuliani? The song you had with Giuliani?
Actually, the song I did there.
Yeah, the song you did there.
I did there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I took Mora's place.
Yeah, there you go.
I wasn't even there. I
It
didn't
was
even
super,
there.
again, musically that was just like, this is like, I don't know if it's a final album, but again, it was just like, let's just give it all we can. Writing-wise, production-wise, style-wise, let's just do us. Pretty much was a reflection of who we are at that point. As opposed to doing pop music or just doing music for the masses or just like, hey, let's do something.
For ourselves.
Yeah, for ourselves. Maybe the final signature as we exit stage. I don't know, but it was fun. It was a fun record to put together for sure.
I will stand and face a mountain, confront my fears. Jogi engolon pay maudisho, anor morhanilemba. Jogi enjepai wengwenya, anor morhanilemba. Jogi o single yo wengingura, anor morhanilemba. Jogi el tao wengwenya, anor morhanilemba. Whoa. I will stand and face a mountain high, confront my fear. By His strength, by His power, I will conquer all. Kayo nangor poginga. Anor marhanil
You get even BGV women.
Nothing on Monday. You're the one who gave me the copy.
Even your relations.
No.
Your relations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your relations. You're not even on the thank you.
Did you sing?
I said no.
No, but you did all the designing. Remember the designing of the
designing of writing.
the cover and everything.
Yeah, that design of the newspaper.
On the cover. Oh yeah, it was a newspaper.
It was newspaper.
It was our backs.
Yeah, it wasn't actually even our backs. It was just our articles that we pieced together, all the articles that had been written about Milele.
Yes,
because their whole idea is that we want to bring change, but we always say, I'm going to join the gym on Monday, I'm going to do this on Monday, instead of doing today. So that's why the title was Monday. But then it was newspaper articles of all the Milele things that we had been doing to create change. So that was the idea.
Deep
Which
thoughts,
I mean, it was pretty good. And then having to do the 2006 thing at Bapo, which then raised the 4 tons of food, which then actually, if you know, that's what led to Jazzalori.
It inspired Jazzalori.
It inspired
we did
Jazzalori.
Jazzalori before Jazzalori.
Before Jazzalori was there. And one of the things I still remember guys saying, hey, let's not involve Milele as much because it will become a Christian gig. We don't want to become a Christian gig. But for us, the idea was we've got actually the ability to change our continent. Can you imagine that, on one afternoon, we were able to raise 4 tons of food. The next day, they had actually put up a picture of Milele on the front page of the Nation.
Yeah.
Put up a front page, and then we got a call asking if we want to get a helicopter to take the food over to the eastern side. So those things were pretty pivotal. And Monday kind of encapsulates that. It's about bringing change now, and just use whatever you have to bring change. Don't wait for another day. Don't wait for you to have a lot of money. Don't wait for you to do this. Just step in with what we have. It was just a music concert, 4 tons of food, just like that. So that was a good way to kind of sail into the sunset. And then you see Jazzalori. Then Jazzalori led to the Kenyans for Kenya. Where they moved then, because it moved from Jazzalori. Kenyans were like, man, we have got an ability to bring change. So what did they decide to do? Kina KJ decided to travel around the country, signing up people to vote. And so they moved the voting constituency in Kenya. At that time, it was 6 million people. After those guys did the Kenyans for Kenya, it came to 12 million.
It was called something else.
Yeah, it was something about. It was.
Yeah, but the tour that Kina KJ.
So Jazzalori is the one that led to that voting, and that voting is what led to the post-election violence, because all of a sudden they moved from 6 million people to 12 million people, and so it changed the voting structure. So at this particular time, it wasn't just a sailing for one group of people. It was so interesting for me to look back into it and see how small little things can turn.
Just add up.
You don't turn the Titanic all at once. You just shift it slowly, and it inspires, because once an idea inspires another one, sparks another one, it's very powerful to look back into some of those things.
It's so cool. For me, I'm listening to it also. When I hear this story, I think of it from 2 perspectives. One, a music perspective. So Milele, under Kaima, Kanji, under all of you guys, and this thing that you birth, and thankfully, Kanji is not allowed to come back. So through that births a whole industry in Kenya that includes Star Giuliani, Riga, Michelle, Aaron, Chizi, Nema, this whole birthing.
Yeah, the Kijiji.
You get what I mean?
Kijiji came right
and it wasn't
after
just,
that.
I'm even interviewing Timothy Kaberia.
Yeah.
He mentions it.
Oh yeah.
You get what I mean? Like coming from Mariners Church.
He came to
and
the
that
Mariners
also,
thing.
and that the Mavuno element, the Rebecca Dawn, Kavuza, all of these other guys, because of that thing and what it did for the gospel industry.
Yeah.
You get, till today, you can see the fruits of it. In church perspective, I look at it from Mavuno missions. Like Mavuno would not be that without Milele, because of the connection between now Harry and all of these things, and that whole movement of this is Africa, and we're not here to ask you for chums, we're here to tell you we have things to offer you, which is a bit insane. Okay, as a parting shot, where's Milele now, or where are you guys individually now? Because Milele is like, you guys, Milele never stops being, because your friendship never stops being, but where's Milele?